Look, here's Abigail. Look. Hello, this is your host Val with the VK Career Conversation. The reason I decided to do this is that we all come from a place of insecurity when we're trying to figure out or just not knowing where we want to go with our career. What do I want to do? What's my next move with my career? Why am I feeling stuck here with what I'm doing? I remember when I started off in my career, I had no idea what I was doing, what I wanted to do. I want everyone to feel comfortable coming on. We will have professionals talking to you, myself, and others. We'll be consistent. We will feed your soul. We want you to ask questions. But I just think it's a platform that will allow you to really feel comfortable gaining information so that you can move forward in your career. You're listening to VK Career Conversations with Val. Be sure to tune in the first Monday of every month at 8 a.m. Well. Good morning. I am so excited. It's been a while since we've sat here and had this conversation. I want to start off by saying good morning and welcome, Dr. Pinkston. How are you this morning?
Doing well, thank you. Doing
Uh,
well. Married
doing
and
doing well. Go
yeah,
ahead.
getting ready for a wedding, and it's about 17 days away now, and yeah, the crunch.
I I know. I don't even. I can't even imagine where your head is. You kind of like in a whirl spin. You're trying to like figure it all out because you're going to the Big Apple for your wedding in that area, right?
West Point, New York, so not
Yeah,
far from it, but
not far from the Big Apple.
a
Well,
long
again,
ways, a long way.
again, congratulations. And Day, how are you doing this morning, Day? It's been a while since I've seen your beautiful face.
Thank you. I am, living this mompreneur life, just growing this business and taking care of these babies. So life is busy, but I'm blessed and I'm glad to see y'all again.
Okay, then you're lifing, huh?
Life, yes, yes.
Lighting, I know that's right. And of course, we have Abigail in here. She's always there in the somewhere around me, trying to keep me balanced and on. Abigail, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good this morning. I'm excited for today's show.
Okay,
It has
then.
been a while, so it's good to meet back up again.
Yes. Okay, then. Well, today is the next chapter. We're going to talk about the next chapter in your life, the next chapter in your career, and what is that next chapter that's happening with career VK Career Conversation. Sure, it's the final series finale, but we're not gone for long. We're just kind of stepping back for the next chapter. So when you think of the next chapter, Dr. Pinkston, you have a truly a next chapter. I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about it from a personal and a professional
This
perspective.
this is a huge transition in my life, trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up now. 26 years, almost 30 years, working a clinic, a solo practice, not traveling much, really giving up and sacrificing a lot for family and for patients, and wore me down and, affected my health. And, met somebody who has offered a tremendous opportunity to make some positive changes for me. Very difficult to make these changes. I've got a lot of people who depend on me.
Mhm.
And so I'm trying to teach people that they can live without me a little bit. And the show goes on, and I'm looking forward to taking care of myself now. It's a different.
That piece right there is that was powerful what you just said is teaching people that they can live without you. Part of that is teaching yourself
Yeah,
that you don't have to do everything for
right,
everybody,
right.
and you can give them the space to make those difficult decisions and do those things for themselves. So
Yes, from my
for me, it's refreshing to hear you say that.
kids to patients to community, all these things. It's a significant change, meeting with a lot of resistance, but I know everybody will be okay. This is a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
We'll see.
And Dad. When you think of the next chapter, what is your mind? Where do you go? Because with
Yeah,
just lifing.
life, and I will say probably the summertime was a really pivotal moment for me. So I feel like I've been walking in this new chapter where I'm humbling myself,
Mm,
and yes, yes, girl, and
mm, mm,
and
mm. Oh,
aligning on what it means to be God, family, business in that order.
come on now.
Because
Yes.
I've been getting things out of order, and I'm all about order. That is it.
Mhm.
This new chapter is about order, y'all. That's it. That is it.
You know, the one thing that we have to, it's so easy because when you are, first of all, as a woman, we're used to, sorry about that, guys. We're so used to just doing it. Let's go get it done. And sometimes we don't recognize getting it done, jumping in and getting it done and not taking the time to sit back and really, God, family, business, in that order, things get out of line. And so to hear you say that is definitely a space that I'm in.
Yeah.
That
Mm,
really brought me to this place because I was just all out of line. And
Yeah.
and I don't think it was anything intentional. I think it kind of came be just trying to be kind of like what Dr. Pinkston said, everything for everybody.
Right.
And what happens when you're trying to balance everything for everyone, you more than likely are so out of balance and so out of whack that you don't even realize you're bringing more chaos to a situation and to
mm.
yourself and to others. So,
And then
um,
enabling,
yes.
you enable people when you are there every moment for them, and they come to you, they want you to fix things, and the more that you push back and say, you can do this, my children, for instance, you can do this,
Mhm.
things you can do, you're an adult now, you don't need mama, it's okay.
You got this. You got.
And I'm celebrating you meeting this whole new, sphere. And I've watched my children excel a little further, having pulled back. They
Mhm.
don't
Look
like
at
it.
that.
Yeah.
Ah,
They tell
look
me
at
they
that.
don't, they've done
Yeah.
So
better.
how is that working in the workplace? Because when you realign and you have to start pushing back and making those hard decisions, and some of the people that are used to you, because I had to make some hard decisions within my business, they're used to you just giving grace
Right.
or not addressing it. How has that affected you, or day has it affected you in any way in this new chapter you're in?
I feel very, very guilty. I feel like, patients tell me that, you're the only doctor I want. Don't you dare leave. This is what am I going to do? And I feel that I have my doctors that I think will never be replaceable, but
Mhm.
it can be. It's a process. You have to just search and look. You can hire and fire your doctor if you get into a situation that you are not, that you're not happy with. You can move on to something different. Just take the process and find it. You'll get there. There are others out there. There really are, and I don't want to quit completely. I'm going to build it in to where I'm still accessible. I'll stay medical director of my practice and see patients periodically, but much farther between, and turn it over to somebody I've trained very, very well for 5 years, a little mini me, and I have every faith in that. And so it's just a matter of getting people comfortable with that. Once they do it, they'll be like, okay, this is not so bad. I can do this. This is not so
Well,
bad.
Yeah.
I it's so refreshing to hear that because it's scary.
Yeah.
If we can be very honest, and before I go any further, I see that we got quite a few people that have jumped on here. I mean, like, oh, you guys missed us, huh? So you guys are really gonna make this hard for me, right? What you say? No final chapter for you guys. Next chapter for you guys. But I want you guys to put in the comments the conversation today is the next chapter. So I want you guys to really think about, is there a next chapter that you need in your life, professionally or personally? or are you in have already made the decision, and how is that affecting you currently today? So with that being said, I'm asking you guys to put that in the comments, share your questions and your concerns, and we really want to go out with a bang. So let's have the conversation with you guys who have popped in here. Day, when
Yeah.
you decided to make that decision to transition and put things in order, how did that affect your business?
Um, I think that it affected my business and it also affected my personal life too, because I was putting other things in front of, my family, even God. I was like always searching for something, and as if what I had was not enough. And
Mm.
so, yeah, so it was humbling. It was very much, it was tough because I didn't want to hear it. I was like, I know what I'm doing, but no. So I didn't want to hear it. And it was tough. I mean, I had like a really hard summer trying to navigate that phase, but I thank God for, him and my husband and even my kids. They don't even know, but just like they ground me and made things simplified, and
Mhm.
helped me to see that everything I've done is great, but I got to learn how to make different decisions that are God centered and really in order of what I want to do. So it helped me to be able to be a better decision maker and
Mm.
more confident in what I'm doing. For example, I used to, before I made decisions, I used to talk to everybody. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah. Mhm.
Now I'm talking to him
Yeah.
first. God, I'm talking to
Mhm.
him. And that just gives me more confidence and simplifies things for me. So it's still a journey. I'm still learning. And as far as business, you mentioned shedding. Like I had to strip away a lot of things that I was people,
Mhm.
projects, things I was signing up for. I had to strip that away to get back to the basics. So um,
Yes.
that was hard because I had to let people go too. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yes. That's
tough.
a and I
Oh,
think that part right there is the scariest thing to do, because it makes you, and it not just letting people go, but them transitioning out of your life. You know,
yes,
because
Absolutely.
I believe that you get notice that hey, a change needs to happen. Kind of for me, it kind of started with my mother. If I can be very, very, she's so important to me, and I was still trying to do everything and make sure that I was taking care of her until it all hit me and almost came crashing down. And that's how things affect us in our professional life as well as our personal life. Things that are important to you, when you're not really staying focused on and centered and connected, everything's things that are not healthy for you seeps in. It's kind of like being out of shape. It's kind of like, from a medical perspective, I keep having this pain in my back, but I don't have time to go check on it. And
Mm,
then by the time you go check on it, it could have been something so simple that you could have taken care of quickly with a pill, and now it's something that you may have to have surgery because you blew it off.
right.
So it's,
true,
when
true.
I
Yeah.
think of the next chapter, I'm just so happy that I'm clear in my direction
Right.
in what I need to do. And what I'm hearing from you ladies, you guys are the same way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
It's a
absolutely.
prioritization just to decide what is best for you. And when it's best for you, it generally winds up best for other people too. And they don't realize it, you know,
right,
see it
right.
over time that
I
it is
Go
better.
ahead. I'm sorry. It was coming in slow. I'm so sorry for breaking,
Sorry. Yeah,
cutting you
no,
off. Go ahead.
prioritization, you once you start doing things for yourself, people figure out that it's better for them too. It provides a better atmosphere for people to push themselves and go a little further and not depend on something. And that's what I'm doing for myself. And eventually I think it teaches other people to do it for themselves as well.
Mhm.
Did you meet any resistance, ladies, with when you finally came for your This is your next move. Of course, people didn't like it, but did you meet up with really hard resistance? And if so, how did you deal with it?
Yeah, I'm just moving into that and starting to see people. It's like people understand I'm getting married and they hear that. And I think they automatically think, uh-oh, she's moving. And so
Hmm.
even though I haven't told you moving or moving on or what,
Yeah.
I haven't really told people. I'm kind of have to be strategic about it and
Yes.
hurt the practice because there's a lot of people who might leave because I'm gone. And I'm trying to just explain to people, look, I have somebody in my place. I've trained for 5 years who's
Right.
exactly like me, and you're going to be great. And I've got my staff who is selling that, telling them,
Yes.
oh, Dr. Pinkston's not going to be there, then I don't want to come. No, you should.
Right.
They sell.
Right.
It's like Dr. Pinkston put somebody in place, and if she trusts them, then you should too.
Yeah.
And Dr.
Yeah.
Pinkston's still in the background.
She's still here. She's not gone. She's just not here every day.
Right. Right.
Yes, the
Yeah.
foundation is there.
Yeah.
So, of course, meeting that resistance with your team, who you've poured into, was that hard?
No. Yeah, it has been just getting them to understand that they can take on more. I've always been the driving force behind the practice and getting new patients and, the word of mouth, but I know they can do it. They just have to become salesmen. It's,
Mm-hmm.
you think in medicine, you don't have to sell your
You
practice itself, but you
everything that you do.
yeah, there's nobody told me when I first started my medical practice in residency that I was going to become a salesman. You have to explain
Mm-hmm.
people and talk
Yeah.
people into things that are better for themselves, and you have to frame it in a way that they understand and
Right.
accept it. And that's not always easy. So it's a process. And step
Okay.
back and just allow people, first of all, you get the shock of it, and then you reassure
Mm-hmm.
things are going to be okay. I want you to try this. I want you to do this for me. They try it. They see it's okay. Something happens. They know that, they can reach me at some point. And so you just teach people through that process that they can do it.
Hey guys, if you guys have any questions, this is your time to ask questions of Day and Dr. Pinkston. Come on in here, throw the questions out, and even myself. We will be as brutally honest as we always are. So please ask us the questions. This is your time. We're talking about the next chapter. Day, you want to go ahead and just share? You have anything that
Yeah.
you want to profound that you want to share?
The funny thing is I met resistance from myself. Is that
Woo!
is that possible?
Yeah,
Like
yes.
I didn't
That's fear. That was fear.
yes, I didn't want to
Oh,
change. Yeah.
fear and guilt. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like always want to go back. Wait, it's right, going back
Mhm.
to what I was doing. A lot of fear
Comfortable.
because
Comfortable to go
Mhm.
back.
I didn't want to be
Yes.
vulnerable. I know what I'm
Mm.
doing. A lot of pride. That's why I said I was humbled, y'all. Like so humbled. Um, but
No, you're always so humble, so I can't
I know,
imagine
right?
you being
Thinking that
broke down
I am,
even more. What? No.
I was so broke down. But it was great because I need that. Every single
Mhm.
next chapter, pivotal moment in my life came after this type of thing. When I
Mm.
was trying to conceive, I had a hard time. That was a shock of my life. I grew so much from that. Getting laid off from my job,
Mm.
that was traumatic because I was like, I'm the star, salesperson that birthed my business. This
Mhm.
part, 5 years later, same thing. Just the changes that have happened that have been difficult, that have opened up a new chapter, have come after a heartache or some kind of, hard
Something
time,
traumatic, yeah.
something traumatic. And I feel like, that is life and it's hard, but it's prepared me. Like perhaps these are just things that I have had to go through in order to become the woman that I am. And yeah, that's how I want to look at that period and where I am now. So it was hard for me to adjust. And the funny thing is, Dr. Pinkston, you mentioned the people around you. If they care about you, they accept your change.
Sure.
Because
Right.
that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Once I told people, even the people I let go, I explained what happened. I was very humble, and they were like, "I understand, Day, and I'm gonna miss working with you." But they didn't fight me with the change, and that made me feel like that is a good. I'm going in the right path. I'm on the right
Yes.
path.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to turn it over to Abigail. Abigail, you have any questions for us, or you have any part you want to add to this? Because, and hey, guys, come on in the comments. Give us your questions and your concerns, or hey, just shout us out.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to you were talking about how you kind of just blow up and like that snowball effect kind of happens, right?
Yes.
Because change in life, I think, is inevitable. We're meant to change. We're
Right.
meant to grow. We're meant to do
Mhm.
different things. If we were meant to do one thing our entire lives, how boring would that be? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Correct.
So I do really strongly believe in like when one door closes, another one opens, and to look out for those changes as they come, because
Mhm.
you don't want to be in a position where things blow up and now you have to blow up your whole life.
Right.
So I'm very big on like just being prepared, because you never know where life can take you. And Dr. Pinkston, you were saying that you trained an employee up for the past 5 years. That's important to have a backup plan for yourself, for the people around you,
Mhm.
even as like a caregiver for family, right? Like you
Right.
need to make sure, like, I can be the main person,
But I
right?
can't be the only one doing
There
this.
needs to be somebody else who is capable, because
Absolutely.
anything could happen. We live in a world where things happen to people every day, unexpected, terrible things. That's why they make life insurance. That's why there's
Right.
health insurance. That's why
Right.
there's all these things.
Yeah.
And so I do think it can become a snowball effect. So when you notice that, things might be transitioning, I think it's important to, be prepared. It may not be time to come out and talk about it. It may not be time to but start getting those ducks in a row
Mhm.
and figuring that out, so that you aren't leaving people hanging
Yeah.
because you had a blow up moment. I think it's important to pay attention. But I think with this show title and kind of us talking about transitioning out of VK Career Conversations, like we said, Love and Victory Show is growing tremendously. I haven't checked it today, but I checked it yesterday, and we're at 97,000 subscribers. So we're about to hit those 6 figures in subscribers. So I do really believe that to put all your energy into something that is calling, you have to close some doors so that those other doors can open a little bit wider too.
That was a good segue into this. Who would have known? And I still believe VK career conversation was definitely something that we were called to do because, hey, look at the people right now. So we definitely were called to do this, and this is in no way a negative thing. And obviously, people are getting something out of it. And I was actually worried if anybody was going to get on this morning. We've been gone so long, so that says a lot. That hey, guys, again, thank you. I love you so much, but you really have to be invested and believe in yourself. And so, if I can tell anyone out there that's listening, it's so important to listen to your inner being. And then just trust the process.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the place that you have to make that hard decision, you've had time to spend with God, you've had time to spend with yourself, and make the decision. And know that when you get on the other side, it's going to be okay. And
Yeah.
even if it doesn't turn out exactly how you envision it, uh, it's never anything wrong when you just try. You're going to learn something even out of that decision, I believe.
I something I learned, and I think it took till about 40 to realize, and it's something I'm trying to teach to my oldest daughter now, is, have you noticed that everything always works out, no matter, kind of the turmoil you feel inside, the guilt,
Yes,
but you're torturing yourself, because in the end, always comes together and works out. No matter what, it does.
it is so funny you're saying that. It
It
is
does.
due
Whether
God. It does. It literally
push,
does.
you can force it, you can do anything you want to, but ultimately it just works out. It just does. And so have some faith and relax a little bit. Relax and just
Yes,
let the process
100%.
That's
Dave,
hard.
jump in
That's
here.
so true.
kinda work
That's
out.
like life's biggest hack. Life will be life, but it will work out.
Always,
It
it
will.
always
Just keep
for the
living.
best. As long as you're open to the world, universe, God, you just have that faith. It always works out, no matter what.
Right. I
Always.
see that. I think that if I'm thinking about a next chapter, Day, you're shifting on your brand, I'm shifting, and definitely Dr. Pinkston. But your next chapter of married, getting married at this point in your life, that had to be talking about being vulnerable. I can only imagine talking about trusting that thing on the inside and then planning. It's one thing to say I'm going to do it, but now I have to I'm an independent woman that have been kind of doing it for myself, for everyone else. And now I have to trust my partner and trust the decision. Come on, lady, give breaking news over here. Let us know how you honestly were feeling and when did the jitters finally stop jittering?
It's
Or has it?
well, I mean, there's always a nervous underlying feature there of being nervous
Mhm.
and big changes, but I don't know, something that's so different about me these days because trust is not my strong suit, but it's just when you listen to that gut inside, that to me is a God's voice. It's
Mhm.
that you can't ignore that really, really deep feeling inside, and so as I resisted and fought, there was still something underneath that said, "No, don't go against this. Don't stop fighting and swimming upstream." Um,
Mhm.
that picture of it comes together. It'll all work out. You just have to place that trust and manifest it. Once you trust and have a positive feeling and thought about it, it tends to kind of come in abundance and manifest itself. You can think very negatively about things, and the negative side is going to happen. If you think very positive about it and trust it and let it go, generally that will come back to you in many, many blessings. Very
I have to agree with you on that. Abigail's hitting the button over here. What?
We have a question. Just
Oh,
whenever you're
okay,
ready.
go ahead. Mhm.
So we have a question from Peter Jasper. He said, "What kind of things can help you adapt to the next chapter of your life?"
I'm gonna throw that over to Day, and then we'll comment after Day starts to comment off.
What kind of things can help you adapt to the next chapter in your life? I think I like what Dr. Pinkston said about the mindset. That's the
Mhm.
thing you really have to work on to adjust because you're going into something new. You're going to have no experience there. So you
Mhm.
cannot be hard on you. Give yourself grace to know that you're not going to know everything. And you are going to have to learn and ask for help and be open to just thinking positive um, to continue down that journey. So next chapter should always feel hard or fearful or scary sometimes, but you do it anyways. You do it scared. You do it in
You-
fear
Yeah.
because it will work out and you will learn and you will look back and say, look what I done, look what I achieved, and you'll be proud. And that can position you to help someone else who is in that position too.
Yeah.
So I like what
I
Dr.
like
Pink said about mindset. Dr.
I
Yeah.
Pinkston
like that.
said.
Okay, Dr.
Faith,
Pinkston, you want to piggyback on that?
yeah, I think faith and bravery. That you're pulling from, again, that God-given gut inside, and you just have to have faith in that and just attempt to be brave. Don't no fear will hold you back, and it will steal the most potential pleasure and the best of you and the growth and everything that you experience. Fear can really hold that back. You just have to be brave and one foot in front of the other every day, and just keep going.
I agree with you, ladies. And if I can add one last thing, drown out the noise.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many on all sides. There are going to be people pouring into you. That's why you have to be really slow to speak, slow to share. And if you have spoken, try to drown out the noise, because most of the time people love to impose how they feel about themselves and in your situation, which has nothing to do with your ability to do the job. So just drown out the noise. If I can say anything that has been in the past, was one of my biggest shortcomings is that it was very difficult for me to understand how important it was to drown out the noise. So drown out the noise.
Yeah.
I wanted to add something to that too, because I'm very big on the mindset as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's meant to be will be,
Mm-hmm.
and no matter how much you resist change or you resist whatever is going on in your life, it's gonna happen how it's gonna happen, and it will work out. I really like that you said that, Dr. Pinkston, because I really, really resonate with that. I can be a very anxious person. I can be an overthinker, queen of overthinking over here. And so I really do have to remind myself that if it's meant to be, it will work out how it's supposed to be. That doesn't mean sit back and don't do anything about it, right? That doesn't mean sit back and say like, well, all these opportunities are going to come to me. You have to put in the work as well, but you have to trust in yourself and trust in the universe and trust in God that things are going to line up how they're meant to be lined up. I also
I want to answer Stephen's question.
Yes,
I think
perfect. I was just about to put that up.
Oh, perfect. Is it really possible to stay positive all the time? You want to stay positive, but you can't help to go into a negative mindset in everyday life. And I want to encourage you. I want to first say that's working on your mindset is the hardest work you'll ever do.
Yes.
Hardest work you ever do. So it is difficult to do that. And like any other muscle, any other training that you do, you have to work at it every day.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be a bodybuilder with pecs ass overnight. Every day, you're going to have to get up, do small things, do reps, put a little time in, eat healthy. Same thing with your mindset. It could be something small as affirmations in the morning, switching what you're listening to on the radio to some positive things, evaluating who you're hanging around, reading things that are different, watching things that are different, shifting your environment so that everything going in is helpful, but also practicing saying things that are positive too. I think those things help you every day shift your mindset, but it's an everyday thing. You're going to work at it every day.
I totally agree with that. I had to do something that was during the process of getting to the place and understanding the next chapter in my life. I had to do something. I had to take time to start reading, just relaxing my mind, things away from my work, everything that I do on a regular basis. So for me, I started to do a lot more relaxation reading, different types of reading, audiobooks. All of those things really kind of helped me get to a place where I was able to drown out a lot of the busy noise and really get to a centered place. And so I just want to say it's so important, like you said, Dave, you got to work on it daily. When you find something is working to help center you, to keep you from being negative or taking in those negative thoughts, continue to pour into that.
There's a medically, when you look at it, if you take psychological perspectives, and that is there is a medical, there's a lot of medical training in the mind and mindset, for counselors and psychologists. And we tend to gravitate toward the negative. It's a natural response. That is a survival response, is to face the negative and work through that, because that is a fight or flight and a survival response. So it's very, very hard to change your brain chemistry to be wired to be positive. And so you have to work on rewiring that. That's why affirmation relaxation techniques are so important. And and why that faith and bravery is so important. Those are very, very ambiguous, concepts that need to be practiced, as you say.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think a lot of that comes with age and wisdom, to be able to relax and kind of let life take its course, and have that faith that everything will work out okay, and just allow yourself to step through these processes. There's many generations who are the here and now. I want it now. And when it doesn't happen, it really hits people very hard, and we are driven to that. We just have to work on creating a positive. I think that if we are a a society that can learn to adapt to a different way of thinking and practice it, then as we go, we will become more and more positive about making big changes, letting go of guilt, and realizing that we are most important when we take care of ourselves, we take care of others, things like that. And just realize it's not going to come all at once. The other thing I told my daughter the other day is that, she's like, oh, she was been feeling so much better about her life. She's made some great decisions. Things are good. She went a stretch where, she was just positive and upbeat, and then had a bad day, had a bad,
Mhm.
felt a little bit down. And she's like, oh no, it's ruined everything. Now I was doing so well. And I'm like, sweetheart, everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a down day. It's
Oh
okay.
my God. That is so, and again, that goes back to, and I don't know, we all experience that, but it's different because I kind of had that same similar conversation a few weeks ago with my daughter.
Yeah.
Something, and I didn't kind of go into the whole conversation with her. What I was letting her know, she was kind of down. Something didn't work out the way she planned it. And I said, well, thank God it didn't work out the way you planned it. Now it's something here. It worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
Right.
And because it worked out the way it was supposed to work out, you're going to be okay on the other side.
Absolutely.
So we have to really start not falling apart because things don't work out the way we planned it. There was already a plan in place before we got on the train
Right.
to get to the station. So we just have to trust the process. If you could you read out John Neville's? Oh, there you go. I'm sorry.
Yes. So John Neville said, I know time can fix everything, but waiting to be fixed creates an anxious thinking in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And John, we agree with you 100%. And the reason why I wanted her to read that out is because so often we focus on the anxiousness, the negative part, the what ifs. And John, if I can leave you with anything, just know that you have all the tools in your arsenal to be successful or to do whatever you're contemplating doing. Just trust yourself, trust the process, and keep going.
I think anxiety is a sign of growth. So anxiety is a sign of, if you're not anxious about something, you're complacent.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good thought.
You don't grow. You won't move. You won't grow. You won't change. So anxiety is there to tell you that something is not right, and that you need to look at things a little bit closer, and maybe, formulate a little different decision. And anxiety can be a good thing. It can forward. It can make you grow, because if not, if you're never anxious about anything, you're just going to stay where you are comfortably and happy all the time, and things will not get bigger and better and grow for you. So,
and that's not realistic.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not realistic.
Okay, Abigail got something, and we're gonna go at we're already there. We gotta wrap this thing
I
up.
know. I wanted to add something because I actually learned this from you, Miss Carter. When I first interviewed with Miss Carter, and I've been here about 2 years, almost exact, a little over 2 years. When I interviewed with her, I was talking to her, and I had a full-time job already, and it was for a part-time position. She goes, well, how are you going to balance that? And I said, well, I'm going to quit my job. And she was like, I love that, because you're betting on yourself. And so I think betting on yourself is half the battle. Probably 80% of the battle is betting on yourself and knowing what you're capable of. And like you said, Dr. Pinkston, I think having anxiety and discernment is still important, because you don't want to just, because you're so eager to change, you don't want to jump on something that is not going to be beneficial to you. So you still want to have those
cautious,
yes.
Yeah.
But I really, that has always stayed with me ever since I met you, Miss Carter. The bet on yourself.
Well, you know, it was so funny just to see someone so young and excited, didn't know me, didn't really know anything about my company, and said, "Hey, I'm going to give up a full-time job to first, and let's tell the truth, to be an intern."
Mhm.
She didn't even have a part-time job to be an intern and come in here as an intern. And that's when you really believe that you have it in you. And even if it didn't work out here, it was going to work out because you believed and you betted on yourself. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was something to add to your resume. It was something that look more accomplished and would get you to the next step. You can use these experiences, good or bad, to help you move to the next level. And that's what, so the process of it, John, is torturous, because we do live in a very instant gratification world.
Oh my God.
We have really forgotten what it's like to sit back and let things develop. So I'll give you, for anybody who likes football out there, my fiance and I have talked about this, where, we watch running backs, and they tend to just get the ball and run into the pile, and they don't get very far. But those that stand back and wait a minute, let the play develop, the hole opens up, through it they go, because back and waited and looked for it. And that is the difference between a successful running back and one who's not successful.
Yeah.
You can't be impulsive either.
Yes. You have to sit back and play it out. Day, I know you want to come in. I can read your face. I see it. She's sitting there. She's sitting there like, I'm going to sit here so gracefully and wait on my time because I'm coming.
That's okay.
Give
I
it
was
to
going to let
us.
y'all have it because, listen, me and John are in the same boat. Okay, John, I'm right there with you. That is my Achilles heel, is wanting to fix everything. No, is this right? Is this the right path? And I'm still learning how to navigate that. I do love what Dr. Pinkston said about how it's a natural sign. And I actually learned this. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Inside Out. I got little kids, so that's what we watching. That movie was for me because it talks about how anxiety is a natural form of growth. The little girl didn't have anxiety until she became a teen, and now from then on, this is an emotion that she developed that we still have as adults. And so all it was just her growing, and now she has to know how to manage it. That it's a sign that something is changing or something needs to be addressed. Kind of like an infection, like you swell up because your body's telling you something's wrong. It's the same thing. Anxiety is a part of who you are, and it doesn't mean that it's going to debilitate you or make you not make decisions. It's just you say, oh, okay, I feel like I'm anxious. Now let me change or do something. So when it comes to feeling like you need to fix something and it makes you anxious, perhaps it's time for you to take a step back and evaluate, okay, why do I want to fix this? What needs to be fixed? Is it really my responsibility to fix it? So I would say take it as a sign to evaluate, and not that you need to act right away, like Dr. Pickens said, like the running back. Just sit in the cut and see what you need to do. And
Very well said. Susan, I know, guys, thank y'all so much for coming in here. We have a couple of more. We're going to read out your questions, and then we're going to wrap this thing up and say I'm not going to say a goodbye, but so long until the next time. So
yes,
if you can.
So I had put this up while you were talking, Dave, but it went right along with what you were saying about growth. Kevin on Facebook said, healthy growth. Healthy growth is so important for your body and mind.
Yes.
And I 100% agree with that. And then Suzanne said, betting on yourself because you know yourself better than anyone. You did the best thing, girl.
All right, it is. Yes. And of course, Amy.
Yes, she said she's gonna miss us.
Oh, and we're gonna miss you too. We're gonna miss you too, Amy. Amy just came on out here and said, wait, what is this? What is this all about? She came, she didn't
She was like,
understand
I
what this
read the
episode.
She said, y'all are beating around the bush.
Y'all beating on the bush. Tell me what's going on. What do you mean next chapter? Stop playing in my face. So I love you guys so much. We were not trying to play in your face at all. But again, making that hard decision, you can catch us, you can catch me, you can catch, of course, Dr. Pinkston and Dave. They will be guests on the show. You could never get rid of us. We are all one big family. So always tune into, you can tune into LV with Val.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday morning. Abigail, can you tell them a little bit about LV with Val, and then we're going to go ahead and say our goodbye.
Yes. So we have, of course, our platform, which originated everything and anything and everything as far as radio and podcasts and stuff goes, the Love and Victory Show with Val. We go live every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. That's going to be Central Time. You can just follow us on all platforms, LV with Val. That's probably how you found us here at VK Career Conversation.
Yes.
We have multiple shows a week. We do a show called Tasteful and Toxic as well, which comes out on Wednesdays. You can listen to our radio station, LV with Val. You can download the LV with Val app and keep up with us. We are not gone forever, just, shifting focus a little bit.
Just a little bit. You guys are a mess. Look at what he just put in there. Please read this.
I'm not accepting any goodbye. I want to see all of you together on LV with Val.
I'm voicing out now. This is devastating. So I want to.
Not okay.
All live. Poor Val knows.
I love you
we
guys.
should plan an episode with this again and literally call it VK Career Conversations just to do it, give that hint to it.
I have to agree. I love you guys so much. I'm going to let you guys say your see you soon. And then I'll wrap it up at the end. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Dr. Pinkston, and then Day, and then, of course, Abigail. And then the last voice you'll hear for now will be mine. Go ahead, Dr. Pinkston.
All right. So, I'm an integrative specialist, family practice. I'm transitioning my clinic and everything a little bit. As I get married, I'm going to turn it over to, some of my practitioners with me in the background and ever watching, but focusing a little bit on growing my podcast and my radio and some of my other responsibilities. So you can go to drpbetterlife.com and take a look at the last 3 years, almost 3 years I have been doing on a weekly basis. And I have a lot of shows there and a lot of fantastic guests, more medically driven. I have some local inspirations to San Antonio, be great ideas for other people nationally in their lives in their world. But definitely this is something where anybody can join and listen in. When you go through and pick up the podcast, you're not signing up for anything. I don't send newsletters. I don't collect names or anything. It's just information, and it's medically driven for you. So drpbetterlife.com. It's YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. It's on every platform. But I invite everybody, please listen in and look in on some important things about your health, and happy to drive you. And this is something that I've enjoyed absolutely immensely. It's been one of my favorite things I think I've ever done. This is very difficult for me to let go, but I am always supportive of Val. Val is growing and doing some great things. I can't believe what you've done. It's amazing. And so proud of you. So proud.
I can't take the credit. I have to really give all credit to God and the people that he have put in. I always like to say my village. The people he have put around me have been amazing. And I'm just so grateful to know that I truly have people around me that love me for me. They're not just taking from me, they're pouring back in me. And when people are pouring back in you, when you're empty, you can keep going. So thank you, Dr. Pinkston, so much for pouring into me and being a part of my life. Absolutely. That will never change. Absolutely. Okay, Day.
You guys, I don't know if you know this, but Miss Val and I met years ago when I was walking in her office as a sales rep, and she immediately took me under her wing and was helping me. And then fast forward to just, I think 3 years ago, we reconnected on a totally different platform. And it was like no time had been lost. She was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey," and it was just we reconnected, and she invited me into this world. Right? I mean, I was a business owner. I had done some things, but the fact that she asked me to come on and be a voice on this platform and to help mentor me and give me the confidence I needed to. She pushed me to start my podcast. She's been such an inspiration, her and her husband and her whole team. The team that she has around her is top tier in every way. I've been a part of a lot of different media and broadcast and platforms, but what they do here is top tier. They can compete with the best of the best. So you guys are amazing. Val, you are amazing. And I'm so grateful that you invited me to be a part of this platform and giving me space to share my experience as a young entrepreneur, young mom, a professional. And I am forever grateful for you being such a and just being a part of my village and meeting Dr. Pinkston, who her and I have our own relationship. And I'm happy to stay in touch. We will stay in touch. That's a fact. And
Yes.
just everything y'all are doing, I am always here as an advocate. No matter what, Abby can hit me up. I am there.
Right.
And I love y'all. And I appreciate everyone who tuned in every single week or month to hear us because you guys made this show what it is. And I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. And you guys can find her.
Yes.
Again, she's not going anywhere. As you can see her. Go ahead, Day, give it to them.
So
Let them
you can
know.
find me at simplicitybyday.com. I'm on Instagram mostly at Simplicity by Day. I'm always checking my DMs. But I got a lot of things going on. I have an event coming up. I got a lot of stuff. So if you want to connect, just find me on Instagram so that we can just continue to share to one another.
Yes. Well, ladies, again, and of course, this amazing crew. You guys continue to follow us. It was just a couple of ladies deciding to just get out here and just talk. When I first got the idea to do it, I thought that I was supposed to be having someone different, everyone coming in. And then God settled it up. One day, Day, myself, and Dr. Pinkston got on, and it was truly like riding a bike. It was like we had been playing in the sand pit forever together. It just worked. And I knew I needed to stay with these two ladies on this platform because they were truly two professionals that want to pour into and help others and that we were like-minded. So I thank you guys. To everyone that believes in me, I can't even call all the names out. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. Just know that I'm not going anywhere. It's only getting better. I just want to be in a place where I can continue to hear, grow, and I have an amazing team. But most importantly, if I can just put it out there, I ask that you guys continue to pray for my mother. Um, oh, I don't know why I went there. But anyway, this is a hard transition. I love what I do, but I love my mother more.
Right.
And God is telling me to keep myself available and healthy so that I can be there to give to her what she's been giving to me all these years. Anyway, until next time, guys, I love you. Bye.